Look at this. Oh my gosh.
The animal world is full of surprises, with certain creatures defying the end, and some with deceptive looks that can cause serious consequences upon interaction. So, make sure you watch where you're going in the wild.
He's still alive. Oh my gosh. This camel has no head.
What in the world are we looking at? A camel roaming around without a head? Visitors at a zoo simply could not believe their eyes when they saw a decent-sized camel walking around like a zombie. Honestly, anyone would have thought this way. I tried to find a logical explanation for this video, and camels can simply not survive without a head. So how was this one casually strolling through its enclosure? Well, some said that the authorities had done certain experiments to make the animal immortal. But it's hard for me to buy that. A better theory was that the camel simply had its face turned to the other side, and from this camera angle, it looked like it was missing its head. It's kind of impressive what simple framing can do. Bear's End.
This is an actual dead bear, covered of fleas.
Trekking through the forest brought forward a rather disturbing sight for a group of people when they came across this sight of a white bear. But it wasn't really white. A closer look reveals that the poor animal was completely covered in maggots. This is why it looked like it was white.
Maggots, if you zoom on it, it's actually like moving.
Maggots are considered the natural cleaners in the wild world. They take over anything and everything that falls to the ground, even if it is the ever-feared bear. Although it might look creepy, these tiny insects play a crucial role in the process of decomposition and recycling nutrients back into the environment. Headless Chicken.
What are you making noise for? You survive half an hour without no head.
A chicken moving around without its head? What is happening in our world? Some farmers were carrying their regular day when a chicken started acting up and was striving without an important part of its body. They had got the chicken ready to be sent to the market, but it was in no mood of becoming someone's meal and was walking around like it was ready to run for its life. Although it looks like a scene from a horror movie, this can rarely happen in reality. Hen's spinal cord and nerve circuits can still function briefly after getting separated from the body, sending signals to the muscles and causing reflexing movements such as walking or flapping wings. Moving meat. This video might just convince you to go vegan. There have been instances when the chef or simply local people were prepping their food, and it started moving all over the place as if it was still alive. Now, one might think that the fish was back from the end, and it was ready to take revenge on whoever got it out. But the reality is not that weird. This happens when the muscles in the fish's body still keep twitching due to the salt's reaction or heat from the pan. So even if this happens in front of you, there's no need to worry. Wolf eel. Wolf eels have a very strong jaws and bite force that enables them to crack open shells of their prey, such as crabs and sea urchins. But don't underestimate their abilities once they lose their bodies. A fisherman found a wolf eel and offered it some cola. Well, it's safe to say that it did not hesitate in taking some from him. Within seconds, this fish's head crunched the can like it was nothing. No wonder they're feared at the ocean depths. So if you ever come across a wolf eel, even if it seems lifeless, make sure to keep your hands away from the biting end. Unexpected fountain. In November 2013, a giant sperm whale washed on the shore of Faroe Islands. In 2 days, it had bloated to an unexpected size, and the experts rushed to the area to get its samples and evacuate the marine animal from the area. Just as they got close to the creature and started their job, the gases within came rushing out. This is exactly the reason why it preferred to stay away from such sightings. Once these mammals get stranded on the beach, gases develop in their bodies due to decomposition. Once they escape with pressure, they create such creepy scenes for the onlookers. Snake Supremacy.
Look at this. He's still alive. Oh my gosh.
If you ever come across a snake and you think you can get rid of it, give it another thought, because these bad boys can even dodge the end. Some locals came across a snake and did this to him, but even that did not stop the serpent from spreading its evil presence. The head was severed from the body, yet it was still moving like it was still alive. It even came back to get to its own body. Here's a snake head, in all its might, ready to get its fangs inside the next prey. I know it kind of looks like it was manipulated, but snakes are perfectly capable of doing so due to their unique nervous system. Their slower metabolism and nerve cells remain active for a while and continue to send electrical pulses, which can cause muscle contractions and movement for several minutes or even hours. Bloated Whale.
Of the whale is going to cause havoc on the community health-wise.
Just like experienced in the Faroe Islands, the residents near a Canadian beach woke up to this rather bizarre surprise in front of them when they saw a giant bloated whale taking over the otherwise calm area. This 26-meter-long carcass had been quite a concern for the people, and they felt that it could burst open due to the decomposing gases present within. Luckily, they didn't meet the same fate as the experts on Faroe Islands, and the marine mammal was cleared from the beach in time. Fighter frog. This frog realized that it was about to become a meal for some people, and it was not up for it, so it decided to run away even at the last moment. It's almost like coming back from the end. These frogs were just not ready to become someone's meal, and were trying their best to get out of this situation. Even if it feels like they were brought back through some kind of spell, the reality was actually linked to how their bodies work. Their autonomous nervous system enables the spinal cord to generate certain motor responses that make them move even when it feels impossible. So don't worry, you can have your dish in peace. Dancing squid. Some tourist got served with a squid bowl in Japan, and all of a sudden it started dancing around like it was its last wish. Now I don't know about you, but this squid looks too alive to me. After getting creeped out from this video, I did some research, and this was actually the soy sauce reacting with the mussels that caused muscle twitching and this bizarre movement. I guess the sauce was really getting on the nerves for this squid. Still a predator. Alligators are known as the most feared predators of the murky waters, and they hold up that reputation even after losing their lives. These people found an alligator's head that was still reacting to stimuli. It was blinking its eyes and even opened the creepy jaws completely, as if it was ready to take on any fight. If you think this was a manipulated video, here's another alligator defying all odds. This one was found by a group of fishermen who had no idea what was going on right in front of their eyes. The alligator's head seemed to be doing just fine, even without the rest of the body. What in the world was going on here? Despite the typical claims of zombies coming to life, here's a logical explanation. Reptiles, including alligators, have a slower metabolism, so their nervous systems remain active for a while, even after getting separated from the body. Fighter fish. A fisherman thought that he was looking at the signs of an apocalyptic future when this half-eaten fish came swimming towards him. Even though it was missing a major chunk from its body, it almost looked like this thing had no problem swimming around. As if that was not creepy enough, a man shared the video of a fish casually strolling in the river without its head. I'm not even sure what is wrong with these tiny marine creatures. How could something function without a brain? Well, their anatomy does not work like ours. In many fish, basic motor functions like swimming are controlled by neural circuits in the spinal cord, not the brain. So even if they lose some parts, these circuits can still generate movements required for swimming. Snapping turtle.
That guy's clamping on harder than he ever has before. He is not letting go.
Snapping turtles have one of the strongest bite forces in the animal kingdom, and they don't get rid of it even after losing their lives. This man found a deceased turtle and decided to give it a proper burial, but it still had some life left in those creepy jaws. Just as he placed an object between the jaws, it clamped onto it with its dear life, even though there wasn't any left.
That guy's clamping on harder than he ever has before. He is not letting go.
Many started calling it a zombie turtle, but it was not the case. This was just a reflex action from the jaws of the reptile that shut closed by detecting anything. This shows that you should keep your fingers away from them at all costs, even when they're lifeless. Otherworldly creature. This video of an otherworldly creature was shared online, and it had everyone puzzled on what existed on our planet. Its dome-like shape and a gooey under area made it look all alien-like. This creature seemed to be moving around with odd slimy structures. As if that was not enough to make it the perfect nightmare, this thing was actually pulsating. The people who found this creature even poked around with a stick and tried to figure out what it was. Once they turned it around, things got even more scary. Although many claimed that this was a made-up creature, the people who found it were persistent that they had encountered a real-life alien, or maybe a creature that escaped from the labs of scientists performing bizarre experiments to create new kinds of animals. Gilla monster. The Gilla monster is a striking yet dangerous reptile native to the southwestern United States and northern Mexico. With its vivid black and orange pattern, it might catch your eye, but don't be tempted to get too close. This lizard is one of the few venomous lizards in the world. The Gilla monster's venom is delivered through grooves in its teeth, and a bite can be extremely painful. Symptoms can include swelling, nausea, and intense pain, lasting for hours or even days. While it rarely poses a fatal threat to humans, the experience is far from pleasant. Though generally slow-moving and docile, the Gilla monster will defend itself if threatened. It's best to admire this fascinating creature from a safe distance, as touching or provoking it can lead to a hazardous and painful encounter. Eternal flying. Flies have to be one of the most annoying insects out there, and getting rid of them is even harder. A homeowner had enough of the buzzing and snapped a fly in two, but this critter was not ready to give up on life. It was still moving around and even tried to pick up its own head. Now, that was a harmless fly. Imagine trying to escape from a creepy hornet, and it comes back to life while holding its own head. That sounds like a nightmare to me. These are not zombies, but their bodies enable them to perfectly pull off that look. Unlike other animals, insects have a series of nerve ganglia distributed throughout their bodies, which can control certain movements independently of the brain. So, getting rid of a fly isn't as easy as you think. Octopus. These people ordered some octopus from the restaurant, and it looks like they forgot to cook their meal properly, because it was still moving all over the place. Imagine if it kept moving even after eating it. Just that thought makes me never want to try such dishes out. Although many were claiming that the restaurant served it too raw, the culprit here was the octopus itself. These mollusks have a decentralized nervous system with a large portion of its neurons located in its tentacles rather than its brain. When the tentacles are served, the residual neurons in them can still respond to stimuli, making it look like it is alive, when it actually is not. Venom in real life. This video of a creature pulsating on the beach had everyone wondering if the symbiote from Venom had come to life. The video soon spread like a wildfire on the internet and had everyone guessing what this was. Even the eyewitnesses were too afraid to touch this thing. There is a possibility that this was a bunch of worms jumbled up together. But who knows? The guesses of Venom might come true. A similar creature was seen taking over a crab, and even this looked oddly similar to the ones in movies. This time, no one had the answers for what was going on at the beaches. Do you think Venom could exist in our world? Zombie insect. This bug gave its viewers quite some creeps when the people noticed that it was walking around while missing most of its body parts. It even had them wondering if these were signs of a zombie apocalypse. But you don't need to worry, the world won't be ending with zombies anytime soon, although this little one met its end in a bizarre way. It was walking and moving around after losing its life to a parasitic organism. Yes, you heard me right. And these hosts are called cordyceps. They take over an insect's body and feed on it until nothing is left, and then control all the movements. Once it is done, the cordyceps blossom from the host's body, ready to repeat the whole cycle again.
No body?
Hammerhead worms.
The hammerhead flatworm is an invasive species that is a predator of earthworms.
Worms give almost all of us a creepy feeling. And the worst part is they don't leave your sight easily. This guy thought he could get rid of a hammerhead worm by cutting it in half. But little did he know he was actually creating another worm in here. These critters are truly indestructible. This superpower is called regeneration. Most earthworms can regrow their lost segments, so they become two new individuals whenever divided in two parts.
Don't cut it into pieces. That tends to be a lot of people's reactions, but being a flatworm, that means it can grow.
Immortal roaches.
Decapitated cockroach. On the left, there's the body still moving, and right, the head.
As disturbing as cockroaches are, they are extremely hard to get rid of. Nature gave them their creepy looks, those long antennas, and top of them all, immortality. Even if you separate their heads to get them out of their lives, they still manage to move around like nothing happened to them. See? It's like watching the antagonist of a movie that never gives up ruining everything. Cockroaches have this power thanks to their unique body structures. An open circulatory system and a decentralized nervous system make them unbeatable in every sort of situation.
I cut cockroach's body in half. The part with the head on it still crawling.
So, if one of these insects visits your house, make sure you pack your bags and find a new place. Hairy nightmare. This cute furry fluff ball might make you want to pick it up and play with its hair, but you're not always supposed to listen to your heart. These caterpillars are found in the forests of North America and look like the Einstein of the insect world, but make sure you stay away from its beautiful white hair. Although it won't cause a lot of harm, its cousin Lonamia obliqua can be the end for anyone that touches it. These tiny critters are so venomous that they are nicknamed assassin caterpillars. Once their venom enters the bloodstream through this urticating hairs, it can damage quite some parts of the body. So make sure you're mindful of where you're stepping in the wild. Beautiful danger.
It can actually spread all around here. So even though you say, oh, there's the animal, I can't get stung, you actually can.
Light creature might intrigue you to touch it and explore the creature, but beware of the stingy outcome from such interactions. These are Portuguese manal worm, and they are often seen drifting on the ocean's surface, casually moving wherever the waves take them. Their long hanging tentacles are the main part of these critters that cause the problem. They use them to trap any fish swimming underneath them, and the tentacles are not just for show. The Portuguese man-of-war delivers a painful sting through these tentacles that are enough to make a grown man cry. So, no matter how good they look, make sure you don't touch them. Spiky ball.
Let him go. I'm puffing.
If you think this is an ordinary fish, just wait until the guide picks it up and swells it up into a balloon. You are actually looking at a pufferfish. They have the capability of swelling up when defending against danger. And when they do, it's best to stay away from them and look out for oneself. Their spikes consist of a potent venom that can enter the bloodstream of the opponents in mere seconds and cause quite some trouble. Just 0.002 grams of this venom can be lethal to an adult human. So, if you ever see one on the beach, make sure you rescue them while keeping your safety in mind. Blue dragon. Our oceans are full of exotic species, and one of them is this cute-looking, vibrant-colored animal that looks more like a dragon. But be careful, don't be deceived by those looks. They can deliver quite a punch. This is Glaucus atlanticus, also known as the blue dragon. You might want to pick them up and pet these critters, but make sure to resist that urge, as it can easily send you to the hospital. As pretty as they look, the blue dragons are highly venomous, and one touch can result in quite some disturbing symptoms. So, if you ever come in contact with one, look, admire, be appropriately awed, but do not touch. Vibrant frog. This frog measures only a few inches and has the most vibrant yellow color, but it is quite a package on its own. Just some drops from the poison laced on the dart frog is enough to stop the beating heart of a grown man. So, no matter how intriguing they look, it's always best to keep your hands off this perfectly beautiful frog. The bright color is not just for show, it is a clear warning to the predators to stay away from it. The golden dart frog lives in Chaco, a lush coastal rainforest on Colombia's northwest Pacific coast, where it rains 300 days a year. So the wet terrain is no new thing for this little one. Just make sure you look out for any bright dangers when visiting the area. Poisonous rat. The African crested rat may look harmless, but it's one of the few animals that is poisonous to touch. Found in East Africa, this rodent has a unique way of defending itself. It chews on the bark of the poisonous Acocanthera tree and then licks the toxic mixture into specialized hairs on its flanks. These hairs absorb the poison, turning the rat into a walking hazard. If a predator, or even an unsuspecting person, touches these toxic hairs, they can be in serious danger. The poison, called ouabain, can cause severe heart issues and even be fatal. So despite its fluffy appearance, it's best to keep a safe distance from the African crested rat. Touching it can be hazardous to your health. Creepy arachnid. Just one look at this thing is enough for me to keep a far distance from it. Still, if you wish to explore the desert scorpion up close, let me change that thought for you. The desert scorpion is a small yet formidable creature, thriving in the harsh, arid environments of deserts around the world. With its menacing pincers and curved stinger, the scorpion is a master of survival. Desert scorpions possess venom potent enough to cause intense pain, swelling, and in some cases, more severe reactions like difficulty breathing or muscle convulsions. Their sting is a weapon for both hunting prey and defending against threats. While fascinating to observe from a distance, it's crucial to respect the desert scorpion's space. Touching one can send you to the hospital within seconds. Stonefish. If you think this is an ordinary stone, then you're not ready to go to the beach yet. This is a stonefish. Its bumpy skin provides it the perfect camouflage, and once any fish swims by, it munches on it and gets a nice meal. But that nice camouflage can be a problem to us humans as well. If you ever accidentally step on this fish thinking that it's a rock, then you're most likely done for the day. You see, these creatures are regarded as the most venomous fish in the world. They are equipped with razor-sharp stingers that can pierce through the skin easily. Once it's in the bloodstream, a potent venom is released that can cause some serious trouble. So, you better watch where you're stepping. Best Actor. Snake species have evolved to be big and dangerous looking, with their impressive attacking and defensive tricks. There's no denying that the anacondas and pythons are one of the creepiest snakes on the planet. And then there's this little one, the hognose snake. Where all the others took up giant fangs and strong bodies, it uses its top acting skills to get a safe exit from the predators. Whenever someone or something gets too close, they coil up and lower their heads, with their tongues sticking out. Now that looks like a pretty promising act. Most of the time, the predators lose interest in them and leave the snake alone. Porcupine quills. Porcupines might look impressive from a distance, but even predators like leopards even face quite some damage by getting too close to them. Just one wrong move and those sharp quills can embed into anything they come in contact with. This is why they effectively turn their spiky side to the threat and release their quills at any given moment. This guy decided to test it himself and got a whole spiky boat at the end. I hope they didn't get to his foot, because these can cause quite some trouble. Stalking snake. While walking through the forest, a group of friends felt like they were being watched. Just a few minutes after entering the dense forest, the hikers noticed this giant snake sitting on top of the forest, casually stalking them. Now, being looked down upon by such a giant thing can take the breath away of even the most courageous people. Most of the snake species are ambush predators, so it was highly likely that this serpent had been stalking the hikers to make a meal out of them. Clever possum. Snakes are not the only good actors. Even possums use their impressive acting skills to stay away from dangers. These marsupials employ a unique survival tactic when faced with threats from predators. Rather than engaging in traditional defensive behaviors, they resort to a clever ruse known as playing possum. This strategy involves acting unconscious or appearing to be injured, effectively deceiving predators into thinking they pose no threat. By adopting this seemingly lifeless state, possums aim to deter their predators, allowing them to escape unharmed. This distinct form of defense distinguishes possums from other animals and highlights their adaptability in evading danger without resorting to confrontational measures. Camouflage spider. Hiking in the forest just became a little less peaceful to me since I've learned about wrap around spiders. These creepy critters blend perfectly into their surroundings, and even though they're huge in size, they can easily go undetected due to their perfect camouflage. 1 second, you'll place your hand on the branch for support, and next, the wraparound spider has done its work with its sharp teeth. It already sounds creepy. Despite their creepy looks, they are completely harmless to humans, and coming across one might give you a slight sting. Still, I would stay away from all arachnids if possible. Slithering snake. Boomslang snakes look pretty calm and have the most vibrant green color that can grab the attention of almost anyone from a distance. They are found in sub-Saharan Africa and are generally shy beings. The boomslang avoids contact with humans, but it doesn't mean it cannot handle one. These predators are ranked among one of the most poisonous snakes in the desert, and a bite from them can even take a person's life if it is not treated properly. So if you ever come across one, make sure you maintain a safe distance. Open discussion. A group of tourists came across a deceased camel in the desert that seemed to be bloated from its belly, and the locals warned them not to go too close to the animal or touch it. There is a high chance that they could explode from even the tiniest stimuli. Once the camel expires, a process of decomposition starts within its body, and the fat it's once stored in its hump starts turning into methane. This bloated look is actually a result of these gases. The combination of the desert's heat and the camel's decomposing state turns it into a ticking bomb. So if you ever come across one lying in the desert, make sure to maintain a safe distance. Who knows what can happen there? Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos.